What is up, you guys? What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for coming on by once again. How's it going, family? Throw those A's in the chat if you can hear your boy speak. Go ahead and throw those A's in the chat if you can hear your boy speak. What is up, team? What is up? Man, today was a really interesting day in the markets, man. I'm talking about starting from the SPY, right? Getting this, or in the S&P 500, just getting this massive reversal out of nowhere, right? We had J-Powell speaking, giving us the good little runaround, right? So things definitely turned around for the better, I guess. I hope so, at least, right? But everything is looking like it could be shifting towards a potential upside, right? So it looks like once the S&P 500 shifted to that upside, it feels like almost the entire market kind of gave into that. It kind of also pushed, everything else pushed with it too. I didn't actually get a chance to take a look at the IWM, but did it also, dude, it also felt it. Wow. Look at that. It actually printed a bullish engulfing green bar, outside bar on the daily time frame. This also showing, yeah, so we have small caps and micro caps showing strength based on the IWM, potentially feeding from feeding from the S&P 500 shift, right? JPP must have said something really nice for us to see this complete shift in the markets, right? So I think it's all good. I think it's cool. You know what, you guys, I understand that I haven't actually put out the analysis here for GTII. In fact, I already have the artwork done for it, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and post it here. The video is done, so there is a little bit of a challenge there, right? I want you guys to just know that I have you in the best of my interest, right? I don't want to give you guys some fake stories, right? So just you know how it is, guys. I just want to make sure that you know that I mean well, right? There's a lot of people out there opposing that thought, right? But whatever, right? Senor Pennington is saying the hate you're getting is wild off of GTII. But bro, have you checked the YouTube and the comments coming in on that? Dude, I can't tell you. It's just remember guys, that where I'm coming from, it's not mega caps, right? I haven't been in the mega cap sector for a very long time. What's up, Sean? Sean, what's up, man? Good to see you here, dude. Thank you so much. Sorry, guys. I know there's a few people chatting and coming into the stream, and I'm not saying anything, right? So, Candace Morrison, good to see you here, man. I'm sorry, DJ, my bro. What is up? Hey, John, good to see you again, man. Good evening from sunny Southern California, says John, my brother. Good to see you here. Thank you for coming on by. And J Pong, my bro, of course. Yeah, we can definitely take a look at those tickers. I have a couple tickers here that are in by request, so we'll get those out of the way too, right? I just want you guys, I just wanted to share that with you guys, right? Because there's a lot of people thinking that I'm being nefarious or trying to somebody said that I was trying to pump the stock, and I'm like, dude, how am I pumping the stock when I'm saying this is going down to 8 to 10 cents? How in the world does that work, right? So guys, I'm like, no, man. It's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. But the analysis thread that I'm going to put out does have a little interesting run happening within GTII. I will tell you that I will say that the targets that were faced today at 25 cents, that was already displayed in the analytics yesterday. I definitely said that I doubted that we could reach the 25 cents, so it definitely taught us a little spanking right there, and we got that 25 cents, but it wasn't unmentioned. Right, so my algorithm did put that up, and I'm sorry, the algorithm did show that as a potential here because of the expansion that we got to the downside based on that 1 day's retracement. Right, we faced this decline. Let me see if I have the chart here. Right, I can share just a couple little thoughts here with you. Let me put it up. Right, and you know what? I may have that paused still. Oh, I don't have it paused anymore, right? But yeah, if you look back in yesterday's analysis around the 10-minute mark, there's this place where I speak of like, okay, you know what? We have a 18-cent bottom where I'm thinking that we could bounce off of that 18-cent bottom, right? And then we would come back up to test that 1930. Right, we're going to come back up to test that 1930 to see if we can get the retracement from there to eventually break below the 18-cent mark. So that 18-cent mark, as long as we belong above it, then, we won't see that 1596 target that I mentioned. And as long as we're above the 1596, we won't see the 10 and the 8, right? Of course, it sounds like a bunch of bullcrap, you guys, but it is that way. It really is looked at in that manner. It's conditional, right? It is completely conditional. If the criteria doesn't meet, then the price action will likely oppose that. But to tell you the honest truth, this upside here is not a thing of abnormalities. The algorithm was already telling us that there was a potential of 25 cents based on the expansion that we faced on the prior day, where we said that 20 cents is likely our low, but this could expand 1 or 2 cents more, maybe down to 17 cents. We got 18. Yeah, so during that expansion, yeah, it expanded down to 18 cents, but you got to remember that expansion works both ways. So it also expands outward as well as it does downward, right? So the upward expansion was also that. So it expanded 2 or 3 cents to the upside as well, putting that 25-cent target in the parameters, right? So that's why we were able to see the shift in volatility today with GTII. Those are things that we have to know and have to be aware of when it comes to average true range. Yuka Frita, good to see you here, my bro. Very good to see you, man. Thank you guys so much for coming on by. Please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do all that magical stuff that helps the channel grow and thrive, right? This way we can get some more viewers and some more sentiment within the growth of the channel, right? But yeah, like I was saying, guys, the expansion works both ways, right? So if it's expanding to the downside, which we did and we already speculated on, we have to expect that upside, except that we're on a bear trend. And if you look at this chart here, right, we have a huge, perfectly executed wall-to-wall move, right? And this is the span of about a year, right? This right here marks off March and April of 2023, and you're looking at this is the March biweekly candle here of 2024. So literally March 23, March 24. It's a year's move, right? So that typically happens. I will, man, do I want to blow the surprise here for you guys? I guess we probably could, right? Because there's not many, all right, good. Yeah, we don't have too many viewers here. So, I mean, what I mean by that is that typically, when I put a GTII video, I get a lot of attention on that, right? So the last 2 videos are above 1,000 views already, having lots of people comment, super excited people all the time. Oh, ARCa's back, and whatever else. But remember, I come from the micro cap world, from the small caps. That was my base. That's why the numbers exist the way they do on that realm, right? And then now that I moved to mega caps, it's a little bit of a step back, but it's all good. It's we're just growing the channel, right? So I'm taking a break for momentarily here because of all this crazy price action that's happening within GTII. So I'm taking a small break, right, and allowing some time for the microcap community here in GTII so they can see and observe price action as I do. And hopefully we can remind people that there are ways to observe the market strategically as well, right? It's not always just speculation here. So, yeah. So for those of you who are here for now, I guess you can benefit from this early before I release the video, because it's actually yeah. Check this out. I'll show it to you here. So this is my video getting prepped for the GTII analysis, right? It's titled GTII and the Moon Gods, right? So. So it's uploading. It's 67% complete. 15 minutes to go still for that upload, right? So it's going. So I just wanted to put together a little bit of a clickbaity title, right? So we can get some people to view it. But I will say that it does have some critical information, and this is some of it right here. Okay, so this is the way I displayed it. I haven't touched this chart in quite a while, right? This is the chart that. This is that chart that people were saying, oh, ARCa, where's the $18 target that you were talking about, right? This is the chart. This is the one that we were speculating those top sides with, right? Here up to the 2.618, 1952. So this is also the chart that I reminded a lot of people that all of this, check this out. You see all this blank space with all of my data attached to it? That's all of the data that disappeared, that's being held. I don't know why it's not being shown here, but one day it showed, and then the next day it was gone. And one day, the next day, what I mean by that is like the span of about a week or two, and then it was just, it disappeared. The initial information we got was right here. This was back from December 2014, and it says this is the very beginning, right down here in December 2014, but the actual information dated back to around 1999 or 98 or something like that. It was ridiculous, right? So the beauty is that I was still able to catalog all of the iterations of historical volatility versus momentum. I was able to catalog all of that info while the data was there, while the price action was here. But then out of nowhere, it disappeared. And I have to remind everyone that this data, the additional data, was the reason why we invalidated this original data set. Right? We were looking at a 3,200% pump to the upside when we got an 11 iteration count, the 11 samples. But then that changed to 31 to 30, literally 20 additional samples. And that diluted the 3,200 to 971%. And guys, remember when I was telling you at $3, at $1.80, at $1.20, that this is likely reaching 45 cents. I meant it. The thing dropped all the way to 40. I was saying 47 to be exact. The thing dropped to 45. So we got the 45-cent bottom. And from there, a critical signal fired. It was using historical volatility versus stochastic momentum. That signal, when fired, we ended up making, over the span of about maybe 2 weeks, a 560% jump of the 971 from 45 cents to $3. And we had already those targets. We already had them figured, right? Using this descending broadening wedge, we were able to identify, if you're my master student, you know exactly what I'm going to say. The take profit to this formation is the genesis of the formation, right? And take a look to the right. $3. We were able to identify that, and this is where we went. And that is this day right here. You can even look back. February 2nd, 2023, I tweeted, "Congratulations, you guys, we reached the top. I got to go to sleep now." From there, whatever happened. But the descending wedge, it absolutely realized its true potential. Right? The data was speaking of potential continuation and all that, but sentiment takes over. Remember, the data disappeared, then created in the fight against the shorts, that merger kind of fell off the hinges. There was terrible forward guidance with GTI. It was terrible. It was horrible. Right? So it was nothing but a bunch of crap after that. So I just wanted to remind you that was what I was guys, it's not my fault that they're holding data back from us. I'm only giving you the news based on historical facts. And then all of this crap shows up one time. I'm like, dude, you guys are a bunch of liars, right? So now I want to show you this. So let's go ahead and take into account these things. For those of you who are here early, and for those of you who are watching right now, this is what I'm putting up in the video that's going to be released in the next potentially 15, 20 minutes. Keep in mind that we're going to try to keep the regression of this large channel within the bounds of these arrows here, okay? So what I mean by that is that I can do this right here, but as long as we maintain this, then we're okay, right? So let's go ahead and do that now and match it. We're going to bring it up to the price action today, okay? So let me do that just like this, and look where price bounced today. I got to say that's ridiculously curious, okay? I have to mention that because that's really weird, okay? But we're still in a macro downtrend, okay? And also the price action that we received both at the $3, the $9, and this run over here from 59 cents all the way to $2.18 from the span of October 2021 to December 2021. All of those moves were year runs, right? So these were all squeezes. They were all squeezes, just like the one that we faced from $9. But remember that there was a lot of positive sentiment with a lot of belief that the company was in fact real, and it was in fact legitimate. Remember all that, right? Even down here at 45 cents, there was still belief that the company was legitimate. But now, because there was a lot of failure and there was a lot of these influencers spreading FUD over here and saying that this thing is going to run to $1 million or whatever, and it didn't do that. You know, that put a lot of negative feels behind the ticker. And with that fear, a lot of research happened, and a lot of retail found out that a lot of this was a sham, right? So that's not good. So that's what's holding me back from believing that this thing could rally for a continuation to the upside into ridiculous targets, right? The difference between now and then is that there was actual belief in the company back then. Today, that's not the case. So we have to be very careful with how we push forward from here. Okay, so one more thing. Now that you know that we bounced from this really interesting zone, remember your bi-weekly time frame. We actually wall-to-wall moved and bounced from the bottom side of the Gaussian band too. So that was literally rejecting the top and rejecting the bottom here, right? So now I do have one more thing to show you. So let me come back here, and I'm going to take this metric, right? 27.67% decline. The only other iteration where price action dipped below the regression here is actually on this date over here, around this time frame. So I'm going to take this time frame's measurement, right? This was back in June of 2020. So let me do that, right? So 27.67% is kind of like what we observed, right? So we'll do it just like that. So 27 point, I think we said 67, right around there. I can't get it any closer. Okay, that's good enough. So yeah, look at that. You see how the price action pretty much is that drop? So if we put this 27% decline in the current price action right here, look where it takes you. It takes you right to the bottom side of the descending broadening wedge, right? So there's confluence there when it comes to that. Okay, Ian, I'll see you soon, buddy. When it comes to the continuation to the downside, there is still confluence there. So those are some of the things that I released in the GTI video that I put together. I want you guys to be very careful when trading this asset, okay? Because man, it's not. First of all, I don't like trading microcaps. I don't like really trading small caps. These things are highly speculative, and they very much present a danger to your portfolio. But I'm again, team, I'm gonna say like I did in the video. I am not telling you that we have found the bottom. In fact, in the introduction of my video, you know what? I can even show it to you, right? I'll show you how I put things together, right? So look at this, right? Look at this. This is the script, right, that I read at the beginning. My introduction is, could it be that this ticker has partnered with the moon gods? Was today the end of a dark era and the commencement of brighter days ahead? You know, right? So I don't want you to think that this is that when there's in fact more pressure that we could experience to the downside. I will call out one of my analysts here in the GTII channel of the ARCa server in Discord. He Rhino, right? So he himself just expressed his thoughts today, just a few minutes ago. He check this out, right? This is the Discord, the ARCa Discord right over here. If we can grab that any day. Here we go. So Rhino expresses here, I can see this stock hitting 12 cents to 15 cents, maybe a tad lower, and then accumulating, and then a large bounce. But that bounce will only happen with shareholders when shareholders feel like the company is on the right track, likely with a new acquisition, right? So Rhino here has been covering the asset for quite some time, and he's a knowledgeable trader, right? He wouldn't be an analyst in the ARCa trading team if he wasn't. So he definitely presents his criteria and his thoughts, and they align with mine too. My thoughts were that we could reach, I'm giving you the target right now. I'm telling you that there could be a 13-cent bottom here to 15.96 if we fail only if we fail that 18-cent mark. Okay, so if that 18-cent mark gets realized to the downside, first target to observe, 1596. Validate your 18 resistance, come back down. Second target to observe is 13. If we fail 13, then 8 to 10 cents is in line. Okay, and we can't go about this by saying, you never said this or you never said that. It's not like that, team. I'm not trying to hide anything from you. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm something I'm not either. I'm just giving you. I'm simply the messenger, right? I'm just a paper boy here. Think of me as the tour guide in Egypt that's reading the hieroglyphs to you. I didn't make them up, right? They're there. They're in plain sight. So all I'm doing here is deciphering the messages so that you can understand what the probabilities are for the next day. And also remember, there is no predicting in the stock market. We can only forecast. We can only express the potentials and probabilities using statistics, using technical analysis, psychological analysis, geometric analysis. If we pair that all together in a strategic manner, then we have something to look forward to. And the way that I do that, team, the combination of all of those strategies, I'm literally extending my ArcMasters course to favor that, right? I don't even remember where I have the email here, right? But if you are interested, reach out to me, ArcMastersCourse@gmail.com for the 8 to 12 week strategies mentorship program that I'm putting together. It's going to happen soon. I already gave it to my master students that are presently with me, and they're already signing up. Okay, so don't let the seats get taken here. Reach out to me at ArcMastersCourse@gmail, and we will go down the criteria one by one through all types of strategies and how to combine them and how to execute, more importantly. All right, team. So please remember that I'm not calling the bottom here. I'm not saying that this is it. I'm saying that there's a lot of negative speculation, and this could still. The targets that I'm giving out in the video are 30 to 34 cents. Okay, because we do have some signals here that are still continuing to the upside. In fact, if you look at your daily time frame, it's definitely not the worst thing in the world. In fact, it's pretty good. Daily time frame here and the 12-hour. Let me get rid of this thing here. Yeah, what you're observing here is a buy formation. This is yet again another strategy that I'm going to be teaching, right? This is a bullish buy formation breakout. Breakout why? We're breaking out of the prior day's high. Prior day's high was 22.51. And now buy formation how? Well, in candle analysis, this is a signal. Confluent shadows or confluent wicks mark off a tweezer bottom, right? Now, buy formation how? This body, the green body engulfing the prior red body entirely, marks off a bullish engulfing. In the rules of trading, bullish engulfings happen after a downtrend. So this parabolic upside here engulfs the prior red bar. It makes a tweezer bottom, and now we have something that I personally call. I've coined this because it doesn't exist in the markets. Okay, so this is something that you can actually take from me personally. Okay, a bullish buy formation, tweezer bottom paired with your. Actually, it would be a trifecta. In reality, this would be a tri formation, right? Why? Because we have a green outside bar. We have the tweezer bottom and the bullish engulfing in one shot here. Okay, so this is suggesting a continuation to the upside, and that's how I'm giving the targets to 30 to 34 cents potentially. Okay, don't take that to heart. I'm just saying that statistically speaking, it is backed, right? Here's your upper bound of the first standard deviation multiplier landing at 34 cents, and your 30-cent bottom is actually discretionary, right? So 30 cent top, right? Here it is. Right at this tweezer top is your 30 cent target. And the reason why we would face the 34 is simply because of this here area here, right? We have a 34 cent flat right at this top side. And I guess, yeah, if you want to look at the 35 cents, maybe. And I do express as well that the upper bound of the second standard deviation, just so that we don't miss it again, the algorithm is telling us that it is mathematically possible for us to even reach 40 cents. I personally don't see that because we have a 35 top here, and that really is a tough resistance. Okay, but algorithmically speaking, we may even see that. But I personally am favoring 30 to 34, if that. Okay, team. So now you know those targets. You know how this criteria can be put to work. So remember that there are several ways to observe the market here, okay? We're getting a nice boost of volume here. GTI may actually get a continuation to the upside. It may actually get it, okay? But I'm not talking about the complete retracement here, right? I'm not talking about that. I am simply saying that we may get a retracement here. Expect targets, 30 to 34 cents. Algorithmically, it can tell you 34 to 40, but my personal discretion is that we won't pass 30 to 34. Okay. And again, team, here's an important fact. Just like it was before, I am still the same person. I am still the same strategy talker that I am, just like I was before. And still, I don't have any exposure or positions open on GTII. The analysis here that I'm performing here is completely for you, regardless of what the price does. And when it ran to $3, I also didn't have exposure. So just so you know, I am not trading this asset because this is not my style. I don't trade assets like this, and I feel like I just owe it to the communities to know how to look at charts in a different way. Okay, that's just the bottom of the line. So I mean, that's been a lot of talking here, right? But do we have any questions? YouTube, I'm pointing to you. Ian, what's up, buddy? I'm pointing to Discord and the ARCa Bulls trading team, right? We have I'm just going to go ahead and show you here, right? We have a few members already in the ARCa Bulls trading team right now, kind of observing. They're chatting it up right here with me too. So if you do have any questions, please go ahead and express them. Hey, Kit, how are you? So he's saying, I feel a microfaceted operation going on CGC and others. Big players moving the price, collecting on peaks and buying the really. In my opinion, tracking the 40. Let's go ahead and put that in the revolving cycle here, and we'll absolutely take a look at that ticker. I love that you were able to say that, because those are the kind of things that we could look into and speculate, right? And study. There is nothing wrong with studying the charts, team. There is nothing wrong with us observing the potentials, right? That's all it is in the markets. It really is. It's the study of probabilities. It all boils down to a mathematical figure, if you will. Okay, so let's put it here in the revolving cycle, right? That's going to be ticker symbol CGC, and we will get that in line as well. So now, just like always, team, please remember that we're going to be observing here the broader markets. We need to take a look at that interesting pump that happened within the small caps, right? This is your IWM ETF. This is the iShares Russell 2000 index, and it did print a very interesting daily bullish engulfing, similar to what GTII did, which naturally puts into question, did GTII do this because of its own doing, or was it that it continued to the upside based on the broader market push, right? The S&P 500, the NDX, right, NQ, that all pushed to an upside, all at the same time. Same situation here with the Russell 2000, guys. So are we looking at a broader market push to the upside in which a lot of the underlying tickers face that pressure from? Maybe that's the case. And we got to see how much more strength we have. The thing about that is that GTII isn't bound to any of these indices. It doesn't respect, or it doesn't have a correlation or an acting correlation against any of these ETFs, right? I've backtested here with a correlation coefficient, and the IWM, the Dow Jones Industrial, the SPX, or the NDX, none of them have any correlation, or GTI has no correlation to any of those whatsoever. Okay, so just so you know, I did the back test on that, just in case we have something to observe. Okay, so from here, yeah, let's go ahead and get in touch with our, first of all, team, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you that we do have a couple requests. Ticker symbol HWH from Mark Roach, one of the analysts in the ARCa Bulls trading team, actually pointed this out. I'm more than happy to observe it. We also have J-Powell here in the YouTube stream, very much another analyst. I think he's one of Moon's analysts, right? So he's actually a friend of mine. and he's actually the reason why me and Moon kind of connected, right? He was the one who created Synergy. So he actually recommended ticker symbol AC. Apologies about that, team. The mic is so close to my face. Ticker symbol ACHR, and beyond that, now we have Kit Kittredge coming in with a ticker with CGC, the Canopy Growth Corporation. Now, is this a Canopy Growth? Is this also a cannabis stock? Because there is another that I would like to talk about, right, myself. And this is ticker symbol ACB, and this is for Aurora Cannabis. And I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of these stocks, but I think that they're running based on the Biden administration, right? So I think he was going to federalize or do something with the cannabis industry or something. I'm not too sure about that. I'm not really into that stuff, so I can't really speculate as much. So, but if you do know the details, please let me know in the chat below, and please let me know in Discord here if that is actually what's happening here, right? But if CGC is really not part of that, then my apologies. I mean no offense with that, but we'll definitely go ahead and take a look at those. Other than the requested tickers and my own personal look here, we're also going to give a quick gander to Bitcoin and its price action because of its decline. And I believe that this decline could be the short-term decline before we see the 210,000 block print on the blockchain, right? So this is set to for the Bitcoin halving. So this is set to print by, I believe, it was April 16th to the 19th. We have a couple dates to observe here, right? So Kit Kittredge is saying the Oracle of MJ. Okay, got it. German U.S. reclass Florida vote. Gotcha. Okay, so this is good to know. We're going to go ahead and take a look at all these tickers. So this is also one that we're going to take a look at here, team. And please don't take me saying that I'm either a Republican or a Democrat. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just speculating here that because of the Biden administration, there is a weird correlation between the cannabis stocks and the companies that they're kind of surging right now, and it would be connected to that. And Ian is also asking me to take a look at ticker symbol BCAN. Of course, we can absolutely put that in the cycle here and observe that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and jot that down here and make sure that we do have it ready specifically on the daily chart. I can already see what's happening here, and this is another ticker I've been looking at for quite some time. I will say that we need to be very, 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 very careful with this one, right? It actually just experienced a reverse stock split. This was a 1-to-190 ratio, which is just massive. That the numbers like those we cannot mess around with, right? So a CoinFox coming in here saying that he is a chartocrat, and I gotta say, my brother, that I completely agree, right? And for the sake of conversation, I am asking about the cannabis stocks and the Biden administration. You have expressed your thoughts to me, right? So I don't want you to think that I'm acting dumb. I just want to get some more information from the chat here, from the participants that do know their facts, right? So Senor Pennington saying hymns on the daily looks like it's breaking out of a falling channel and ended today with higher volume. Might be something to look for at least a scalp, right? Okay, let's go ahead and put that into the cycle here as well. So that's going to be ticker symbol HIMS. Is that the one that I'm thinking of? The men's, is that what it is? HIMS. This is him and hers. Right. Yes. Got it, team. So yeah, that's going to be ticker symbol HIMS. You know what? It is a growing company, right? And I do see them publicizing everywhere, right? So very, very, very cool stuff. My goodness, right? Very good stuff here. All right. So yeah, we have this in the cycle as well. So let's go ahead and make sure that we can keep that here, and we'll put this on the daily chart so that we can keep it organized and just a part of the discipline, right? I got to maintain a consistency. And okay, all right, team. So let's go ahead and push on by to the S&P 500. We just got to give a quick look here to the broader markets and get the feel over how the indices are feeling so that we can then apply this knowledge to the underlying stocks and companies. And this will be a good way. And I would also recommend for any market participant to observe the markets in the same way, right? Try to find your indices, right? Understand the economic or macroeconomic situation. Understand the underlying data, meaning if you're looking at GTII, then look into their fundamentals. If you're observing the SPY, then you look into CPI, right? Look into PCE, look into the producer price index, look into J-Powell, all that stuff, right? We have to make sure that we can keep things organized in order for us to determine higher probability targets. Okay, so let's see. Kit Kittredge is saying the 2 hour gives good representation. I completely agree. And the bi-hourly time frame is absolutely something that I use myself. The 3 hour and the bi-hourly are critical components, as they are typically the bridges between the hourly and the 4 hour for short term to maybe swing type moves, right? So that's naturally the bridge, the 2 and the 3. But yeah, Kit, very, very observant of you, my brother. I do think that is very good information that you can share here with the team as well. So guys, if I can just ask of you to be patient with me, and we're gonna get this thing rolling. But I gotta make sure to get my son awake from his nap, and this is usually the time where I end up asking you for 5 minutes here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just ask of you to be patient for 5 minutes with me. I'm gonna get my son up, and then we're gonna start this complete analysis, right? So I'm gonna put here. Be back in 5 minutes. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for coming on by. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, interact with the algorithm so we can make more people come on by, right? We can all learn together. And more importantly, please join the ARCa trading team. The link will be found in the description below. Okay, team, so let me just go ahead and put some young people's tunes here, right? And we'll get this thing moving on forward. Thank you, everybody, for coming on by. I will be right back in 5 minutes here, and we'll get this thing on the roll. All right, you guys. Thank you.
What's up, James?
Yeah, decided to check
ARCa, he'll be back in a couple minutes.
Huh?
Man, we got 60.
I said ARCa will be back in a couple minutes.
And I asked, what are you doing?
He's doing an analysis.
On SPY?
He's doing an analysis on the overall markets and then some figures.
Hey, dude, do you know what news broke in the after hours to make the market pump?
What'd you say?
What news broke in the after hours to make the market pump?
Google had news after the bell.
That's what it was?
Google ripped faces after the bell. They're going to start charging for their AI. I think it had, I don't know if that moved everything, but...
No, the whole market, look at every fucking chart. Every chart moved. Every chart.
Yeah?
Tesla too. Yeah. Tesla too.
I'm surprised.
I don't even know if that's the news, but that had a nice move from 55-ish to 60. So that was 5 points. That could have done it.
Yeah. Well, look at the market. It had an inside bar, so you know what happens after that. Guy's probably gonna go fill that gap upstairs tomorrow.
I don't know. I have no clue.
I'm looking for a nice outside bar, but yeah, stick around though for a few minutes. I want you to see how he does his analysis. It's really fucking good, dude. Like, it's shit no one really talked about. So, how's things going? Good? Oh, did you have a good day?
Today? No. I think I traded in the morning, a little bit of Tesla, and that's it. I'm doing a loan right now for $5 million, so I'm trying to place it. I'm having a hard time.
For property or?
Yeah, I have. I'm doing the loan. I'm not getting the loan. Meaning I don't.
Yeah.
Meaning someone needs a loan. The property's worth $8 million. They want $5. I'm trying to find a good place to put it where I can make myself point and a half. So I'll make somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 100 grand on it.
Yeah.
A lot of static in this room.
Yeah, I heard that. It just started.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Wait, don't leave.
It's like babies crying. I don't see you.
Hold on. That's weird. I'll be back in a second.
Coming from him. Because I just got out
That
of
might be the song.
It's coming out of the stream.
Yeah, I think it's. Well, it's weird.
Yeah, I'm hanging out.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking for a big outside bar today, James. We had that inside bar. I'm looking for that pump and then late day sell off all the way back through.
Listen, I told you this once before in the past. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
March is the end of the run. It will come down until July and then it'll return.
Yep. I agree.
And it happens over and over and over. I don't see a black swan event though. There's no black swan events.
Well, black swans are just that. They're unforeseen. You wake up in a fucking nuke hit or a bank fucking went under, or fucking, 10-year yield just ran to 5.5% overnight.
Look, listen. Today you had an earthquake. See what the repercussions are from that with Taiwan Semiconductor. This would be an in for China to come under a helping hand to say, listen, we're going to help you out and just invade and take over.
Oh shit.
What else?
I wanted to ask you though, James, how's that bridge thing going to affect you guys?
What bridge? The Delaware Bridge?
Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore, yeah.
There's other bridges, bro.
Yeah, but I heard that bridge is like a specific infrastructure type of bridge where they ship a lot of stuff.
Dude, how about
specialty.
there's no train tracks going through that bridge, so it doesn't matter. They'll pull the debris out of the water within 2 weeks. The infrastructure around there, such as shipping deliveries, will be on time after 2 weeks from now, and it'll take them 2 years to fucking build the fucking bridge. In the interim, you'll have to use other ports. That's a big port. You're right.
Yeah, that thing's huge, dude.
Well,
I thought it would probably. Yeah, that's one of the biggest ports in the country.
It's one.
I think it's like the fourth biggest port, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so.
That caused some damage when that happened.
I watched it, bro. I fucking watched it. It was crazy. I mean, everybody watched it.
I saw the video, but yeah.
Everybody watched it. It's fucking crazy that, like, that bridge hit just the right spot for the whole. That ship hit just the right spot for everything to collapse. Come on.
That was an attack.
That was amazing. That was
an attack.
Well, whatever you want to call it. It was amazing.
That's nice.
I tell you what, just for that happening, they should fortify all the other fucking bridges that we have.
Yeah, but how? I mean, you hit it with a ship that big.
Yeah, with a ship that big, it probably wouldn't matter.
I don't think
it's hard enough.
So the way you would fortify it is you put concrete barriers probably 50 feet away from them.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Fucking smart.
Something to run into for it gets there. Okay.
Yeah,
actually, that's a smart idea. Why wouldn't that have done it in the first place?
I don't know.
Because we never had a ship hit the bridge like that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I think the captain was Ukrainian too, not to spread any conspiracy theories.
How about this? Listen, when we were in the other room, it was like every other fucking week the trains came off the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Every other another train coming off the track. Come on. For real?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. Gold breaking out. Huh? Crazy
yeah,
shit.
Baby.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys, I'm back. My apologies for taking so long, right? We had the little boy asleep. Coin, I'm sorry to interrupt, my brother. Please go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's your show. Let's go.
I realized here that I left you guys on public, right? So the entire world heard you speak. I hope you guys didn't speak of something too sensitive. But I think we're okay.
Back, everybody.
Hey, traveling
back. Look out.
Traveling Session is saying they did a whole season of The Wire around Baltimore docks. Good times, man.
I'm talking about me and P. Diddy on party night.
My brother Northwest back in the man. What's up, buddy? Dude, good to see you here. Thank you for coming on by, man.
Back to the greatest channel.
Oh, man.
History.
I appreciate you so much, man, and it's so good to see you here. And guys, remember that if you would like to say something out loud, please go ahead. The YouTube stream can hear you, right? And anything that we're saying here, we can all share with each other, right? We're all part of the same family. We're all part of the same team. So anything that you need to say, please come on by. And Options, what's up, buddy?
What's up, motherfuckers?
Dude, what? So, like I said, right, anything that you're saying, right, is public, so the entire YouTube can hear you too. Options, I have a CoinFox, and I needed to get in touch with you to speak with. It's with his name is Nick Howard, right? He is the person who is responsible for creating. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but the quick software for the options. Trading within NASDAQ and the NYSE. Do you know that? Do you know about that?
Oh, really? It's not released. It's not released yet.
It's not. No, his original platform, which is still there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I forgot which one. Do you know about that? Options?
What is it?
Dude, what is it called? The original one, the one that he said it's been up for the last 15 years.
No idea.
Damn, I think it's called Quick, right? And it's the options analysis for literally everything, even the futures contracts. He's the CEO and founder, right, and the primary developer for the software. And he reached out to us on behalf of CoinFox, and he's given us the link to some proprietary software for options trading, and he wants our thoughts on it. And I asked him if it was okay if I brought you in on the roll too, and he said he's more than happy. So
yes, share it. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'll take a look.
Absolutely, man.
Do you want me to analyze it to see how it performs?
So it's almost ready. It's almost done, but they want users to be able to give some feedback in it. But he wants to set up a meeting.
Money to throw at it.
So this is actually going to be a free platform for now.
Yeah, I'm just saying I have money to throw at it to test it.
Oh, I see what you mean. So it's regarding any options contracts. I think it observes futures contracts as well. But this guy is a really knowledgeable options trader. And man, when he was talking about his debit and credit spreads and all that, I was like, man, I know the guy just for this, bro. So, so I think, So
some people just do spread trading too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. So he actually wants to meet with us one more time with the analyst and myself. So if we could put together a date, we can meet with him and we'll get you access to the software, and then we'll share our thoughts, right? Whatever you think could be added to it, man. But this guy I think you're going to benefit highly from this, as he is.
Well, yeah, that'd be great, man. Just send me a few days that works for everyone else, and I'll make adjustments on my calendar and fit it in.
Okay, absolutely. So, Zoe, no, it's not quite a public thing right now. The CEO asked for me to keep this within only the trading analysts within the ARCa Bulls trading team, and it's just for us to give the final notes on their alpha test. Right, it's not even in beta just yet, but they're pretty much turnkey, and they want to make sure that they can get some final thoughts on some knowledgeable traders, right? And I think options would be a great candidate for that.
Hey, ARCa, if you get a chance, when you email them, can you get one good trade in there too, please?
Absolutely. I was going to ask you about that. I was curious that he wasn't with us the last time, but yes, absolutely. We'll make sure to get the entire team there. All right, so
awesome.
Not a problem, man. I think it would be of great benefit. So, guys, let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Let's take a look at the SPY here. We got to take a look at the ES as well. It feels like we got a good shift in the markets today. We also observed the potential retracement and what felt like kind of like a V-shaped recovery, right? So let me just get some of these basic little lines and silly little formations out of the way, right? So that we can observe this here the way that we're supposed to, and outside of diagonal lines, right? So let's take a look at the data. I'm going to take a look at how much expansion or contraction we faced today as well. But first of all, 5-minute time frame on the ES, we're already breaking above the EMA 200, SMA 50, and your EMA 9, right? So these are critical time frames or moving averages to break out of. It feels like we're if you're going to take this thing into a psychological perspective, I see it too, right? Little silly bull flag there. Potential targets can be upwards of 53 to maybe 5309. We were observing the upper bounds today in daily ATR to be around that 5309, but we did notice some critical resistances. First of all, in a geometric sense, at the 1.618, 5281 and a quarter, that was a critical resistance for us to utilize as an area of take profit, right? So we did express our, and by we I meant me and CoinFox, right? We also talked about this parameter here around the 5288 mark. I think that all of those things were too thick, right? You have a little bit of a gap here, right? I know that people are going to say that's not a gap. You got a shadow there, right? No, it's a different type of way to observe the markets, right? So this 5286 and 3/4 to 5293.5, that is a gap, right? You're talking about the combination here of opening or closing basis to shadow, right? So there are different ways to observe the markets here. Please be as creative as you can be. The gap does not have to be completely vacant. It doesn't have to be a void. You can you can use the gaps here using creative measures like that. You can be opening to closing basis, you can be wick to wick basis, or you can be the combination of both. Right. So, with that said, we noticed here that there was a critical resistance. Although, look at this too. Your daily time frame here. We're creating now a new higher low. Right. So this is an interesting continuation. Let's go ahead and block out these drawings here. Expand on the daily time frame and observe how hard this retracement was. Right. So it looks like we're I think we're just above that 50% retrace, and there could be a continuation to the upside. And if we are observing here the ES, then I could use volume parameters too, which makes me a little more capable, right? So let's use that 4-hour time frame to observe how volatility versus momentum is currently happening, right? So we can notice here that there is a decline in the transactions, right? We're noticing that there is a decline in disbursement of returns. We're getting an incline in stochastic momentum and inside of the bullish control zone. So as we push this contraction phase on a 4-hour time frame, I can see here that there is some buy-side interest entering, right? Not quite what we want and not quite the way we want to see it, but it is happening, right? So if we can get, and I'm going to start observing here the hourly time frame too, right? But if we can start shifting the volatility component for a potential expansion phase from this mean reversion, then we could see a continuation to the upside paired with stochastics on that upward trend. The RSI, you're going to notice it here a little flat, right? That's just because things tend to contract into the wee hours, right? So let's observe the hourly time frame and see how that's looking for us, right? So this is the I got to say that this little bull flag here may have been completely invalidated with this panic wick to the downside here, 52.48 on that low. That doesn't that doesn't feel like it's too much of a bull flag. But if we did respect it as a psychological metric, then let's go ahead and get our measured move here, right? So you can see a potential top side of about 52.97 as a measured move from that breakout of the hourly bull flag here, which takes us into that into what we were expressing earlier today within the data metrics, right? So take a look at the stats window here. We are now expanding into the 53.15 on a daily ATR top, and it looks like we can even drop to the 52.25. We are now sitting at a 45.09 a daily average true range. Okay, and now if we pair the top side targets here with what we're observing here on a bull flag, we're talking about a 52.97. So it looks like your hourly time frame is going to cap out at about 52.84, which naturally lands right within our discretion, right? So we're looking at a 52.86 and 3/4 to 52.93 and a half, and that could be your top of the top of the morning on the hourly time frame. Okay, from there, I would say a quick little pullback here. Validate your 1.618. Your range high at 52.80 before a continuation to the upside, and it's looking like we may actually get that. By hourly time frame, stochastic momentum in the gravitational zone, right? Just 2% below that 80 on the stochastics with expansion happening, right? So that's already a good signal. 3-hour time frame, look at this expand as well, right? We're getting that expansion phase. We're getting the curvature. We're getting that quick pivot on the volatility component. We're also noticing that stochastic momentum is inside of the bullish control zone. What I'm showing you here is how momentum and volatility can cascade from an earlier time frame into the later time frames. So hourly time frame, bi-hourly into the 3-hour, we already have upside pivots with potential expansion phases at hand. 4-hour time frame, this is the one that I spoke about just a little bit earlier, right? I was saying that it would be great if we can start expanding here, and it's already showing that the earlier time frames may support the 4-hour time frame expansion phase beginning. And that being said, we also have momentum entering the bullish control zone too, right? 6-hour time frame, upside pivot on Stokes. We in fact got a little cross above the that's an SMA 14 EMA 3 cross on that Stoke, and it looks like we do have still an upside bias. Really would like to reject I really would like to reject from that moving average on linear volatility so it can continue expanding here. But as you see these time frames pivoted towards an upside deeper and deeper into the later time frames, that shows you that we can still experience a continuation to the upside here. If I were to put my guess into the price action, I think your data here is correct. 53.15 could be observed tomorrow. If we're gonna latch that to a tangible target using your historical resistances or supports, then I guess we can make that a range, right? Let's go ahead and observe that potential here. I'm going to just focus in without getting these indicators all over the way and take a look here, right? So, you know what? I'm also going to take into account a more immediate short-term time frame Fibonacci retracement. I'm going to use it guys, the way that I'm using fibs here is very much unlike the way it's used traditionally, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and take that retracement from this range high to the range low here, right? And I'm going to observe the shorter probabilities here. So 53.15 is certainly in line with your 2-spot 618 to the higher time frame 2-spot 272. That now is giving me the combination strategy, right? So this is going to be using 2 Fibonacci retracements paired with price action, right? So we're going to use this as that resistance. But what I'm looking for is not the 618 or the 272 retracement. What I'm looking for is the 50% right in here. You can see that we have a resistance at the top here, right at 5. What is that? Let's put that target right here. We're gonna go ahead and make a horizontal line, right? 53.15. What do you know? Right? So that is how we're able to manage our positions and validate your ATR tops and bottoms, right? So this is a very, I'm just giving you guys some of those secrets. I don't care giving you guys my deepest secrets and desires in the market, right? I don't care about that, guys. If I give you this information, it doesn't mean you're going to trade it like I do. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to trade it like you do. What if you become eternally successful out of it? That's the idea here, guys. We pay it forward. We make sure that we can get that information and share it with traders. Hopefully we can all listen from each other and really take it to the bank, right? So we notice here that we have data with an ATR of 4509 on the daily time frame. 53.15.84 was our daily ATR top. How did we validate that? We validated it with a cascading effect using volatility and linear versus stochastic momentum with an upside pivot starting from the hourly time frame all the way up to the 8 and 12 hour time frames. That upside pivot is telling us that we can face a multiple day upside, right? So if we can face a multi-day upside, this is the start of it, and these are the targets to observe. Immediate short-term time frame, hourly bound, 52.86 and 3/4 to 52.93 and a half, followed by a potential pullback to 52.80. Validate that 52.80 with I would say probably an hour, ideally a 4-hour closing basis candle, right? And then we can make that upward bound move to the areas of, again, team, remember, 53.09 and 3/4 to 53.20 with a focus at where? Your daily ATR, 53.15 nailed to the penny. All right, you guys, so heads up on the ES. I do think that we have some more upside bets here, and there could be a pretty nice, healthy rise, which is really unfortunate, really, Ren. I really was expecting for us to finally choose a direction here instead of continuously grinding towards this very, very overbought top side, right? So, but it doesn't matter what we feel. It doesn't matter what we think personally. What matters is what's being displayed in the charts and what the broader sentiment feels like, right? We got to observe those things as intelligent traders. And if we don't have the discipline to do that, guys, then what are we doing? Right, so options saying contracts up like 143% so far. Great long term for those that trade a side account with a Roth. Let's see. Carisdale Capital has unsuccessfully taken down MicroStrat after the short report. Remember my price target mid-2000s by end of May. I support that target. I think you and I were observing those targets with MicroStrategies. I think I had a 1980 or something like that, so or 2300 or some crazy range like that. But yeah, I completely agree with you, Options, and thank you so much, by the way, once again, for sharing with us those plays, because the MicroStrategies, the MSTR ticker, right, that freaking play has been eternally fruitful for a lot of the team members here in the ARCa Bulls trading team. Really appreciate that. And anyway, team, so that is going to do it for the S&P 500. Let's take a look at the VIX, right? So please remember that as we approach on volatility here, as we approach that 16 mark, we get closer and closer to bear territory, right? So upside pressure on the VIX, upside pressure on the DXY dollar value, right? Upside pressure on those on bonds. That all usually translates to risk on assets having a decline, right? So as long as we are moving towards the upside here on the VIX, you're going to express that you're going to get that inverse correlation to the broader markets risk on assets, right? So in this case, very nice retracement from that 1521. Honestly, I feel like it had a lot to do with a slightly dovish Powell. I don't think that we're going to get macro tops here. I don't think that we're going to get a explosive price action into new, price discovery. I don't think we're going to do that. I really do think that we're range bound. I really do think that we got to slow down and make sure that we can keep things tight here. I don't see us exploding here just yet, right? I do think that we're observing some natural ebb and flow, and we got to make sure to pocket that. We got to make sure that we can observe what those ranges are and trade them. And if we don't take advantage of that, or if we don't know how to do that, then please, I encourage you to join the ARCa Bulls trading team. I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys here in the YouTube stream. Where are you, right? So there you are. I'm going to go ahead and paste the invite here for the ARCa Bulls trading team, right? So let me just go ahead and gather that for you real fast here. I thought I already had it copied. Well, who's dropping the ball here, man? Who hired that guy? All right. So there it is. Let me just go ahead and share it here with you guys. That's going to be your invite link to the ARCa Bulls trading team. Please come on by. J-Powell is saying sideways action is the worst kind of action. If you are options trading, sure, I can definitely relate to that, right? Sideways trading, or you're talking about a consolidation, could also be translated into contraction, which would then act as negative vega, right? So as soon as you get negative vega into your options contract, then that's going to be your decline of implied volatility, and that's good. It's also a potential for getting an IV crush from the opposing team, right? So yes, if you are playing options contracts and sideways trading, that is not the way to do things, right? It would be better for you to range trade or counter trend trade using live shares, right? So please make sure to be careful when trading the financial markets. Use proper risk management. Be diligent. Be disciplined. Study as much as you can. Don't trust anyone in the markets, including myself or anyone as an influencer. Do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. Mr. Squeeze in YouTube say, you got me with the Moon Gods GTII video. Guys, yes, I did put up the video for GTII, the little micro cap, right, the OTC. That SPAC is the usual. It is actually experiencing the most trouble it has been in I don't know, in years, man. The thing has declined from $9 all the way to 18 cents so far. And it's really interesting because I was talking to the team about this earlier, and there was a very curious wall-to-wall move from just about a year ago. That top side of $9 came all the way back down in opposition here, sending channel to that 18-cent zone. And I haven't seen this chart here in particular, I mean, for a long time, right? So this was your bottom bound here, and we also bounced. But I also compared this with something else. I also compared this with a bi-weekly time frame Gaussian band. So this Gaussian band is showing us that bottom side of 18 cents also bounced right off of that support too. That is very curious. And same situation with that ascending channel on the 3-day time frame. This is your bi-weekly year, right? You're talking about March 2023 to March 2024. This is a complete wall-to-wall move here. And again, I'm going to tell you guys that I'm not particularly saying that the downside that the floor is in. I'm not saying that whatsoever. In fact, I did explain to you how a continuation to the downside here using this broadening wedge could be in line here, okay? And it does match your average true range. It matches the decline here, actually the only iteration where you found a break from that regression, right? It's a 26.67% decline. I understand that it's only one iteration, but that's all we have to work with. So if we apply that iteration decline into this break here, remember we still have a day and 18 hours here to close this 3-day iteration. There is a very interesting correlation between the regression of this broadening wedge and that support bottom, right? So there is confluence there, and we can't ignore that as traders. That's what we latch on to naturally, right? We latch on to confluent targets. But from there, team, that's just to remind everybody what I was speaking of regarding that GTII, right? So anyway, team, let's go ahead and move on. Let's take a look at your IWM Russell 2000 ETF, right? Take a look at this. The iShares is actually printing a green outside bar here. We're getting a very nice bullish engulfing as well. So I would have loved to have seen the bullish engulfing close above the prior bar high, but it didn't get that, but it's still closed above the body, right? So it's still noteworthy. So if we're going to experience a continuation to the upside here, I do believe that is in order. Oh, GG, what is up, my brother? Good to see you here. And you watched it. I hope that I was clear enough to express my thoughts on that GTII video. I was trying to be as transparent as I could be, because a lot of people really do speculate. They often spread the FUD saying that I am the short fund, right? Saying that I am the literally the I don't know. They've accused me to be a Kramer. They've accused me to be Alpine Securities. They've accused me to be Ken Griffin. I've seen people's dude. It's insane. People have said
they don't pay attention to the videos. They only go in looking for what they want to hear.
Yeah, man.
They don't even try to look at the craft to see what analytics are backing it up. I mean, you literally give the upside, the downside, the potentials, the ATR. I mean, it's just, it doesn't make any sense because, like the people today that were freaking out about it, and then it went up. You could tell they didn't watch the video because you absolutely told them the ATR was from 18 to 25 cents. I mean, fucking.
Yeah, I got an argument with the dude on Twitter today about that.
You did?
Yeah, calling you an idiot because you went to 25. I was like, he literally told you that in the video. It was like, you didn't even watch the end. He heard your first saying it was going to drop and then made a comment. Man, that's ridiculous.
Oh, man.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
They make all these claims and then they don't want to create and get any knowledge. They don't even, they probably just fast forward through it, get to the parts they want to look at, and then, whatever. It's mind blowing, and that's why they're stuck and they're bagged in these fucking shit tickers because they won't pay for them. I mean, you can trade the shit out of GTII and make money if you follow the charts.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of people feel that that really false narrative, man. That
you can't chart fraud.
You can't chart fraud. It's such a. I don't believe in that personally, guys. If you do believe in it, please don't take it in any offense. You can believe that it's okay, right? You will find your edge the way you will find your edge. But to tell you the truth, it's not fraud that I'm charting. I'm charting a chart. That's all that I'm doing, right?
Can I say something real quick?
Please go ahead, brother.
And this is my opinion, and it's based on trading GTII over the last 2 years, making $28,000, and specifically trading it on ARCa's callouts when I didn't know shit about fucking charting. Okay? And I will tell you, after learning and going through the master's course and being educated, and I've always been a fundamental trader, so tickers like GTII were never on my plate to trade. The only reason why I traded it was because I started following ARCa and he was making these call outs and I started making money off the call outs. And I'll tell you this, after learning things, it's my opinion, and it's an educated opinion, that charting fraud is the easiest to chart because it's 100% based on emotional and pumpers. And that's what the charts read. They read market sentiment and they tell you where things are going. And the traders that are trading based on charts, all the intellectual traders that know what the fuck they're doing, they're also trading it based on emotions and sentiments. So any idiot that tells you that you can't chart fraud absolutely knows nothing, because that is the easiest to chart. That's all I got to say.
And I will say, team, that there's a certain edge in observing the markets the way that I personally do, right? I've shown you guys what I call the footprint model using linear volatility and momentum. So and it's a little bit of physics here and there, right? And then you pair that with statistics, when you gather your sample set, you gather a complete data set with probabilities. I calculate your average distribution on a bell curve, right? You remember, if you're familiar with statistics, you know what that bell curve is, right? 68% of the returns on top as your average of your better performers. Then you have the distribution set on the upper bounds and lower bounds of your first, second, and third standard deviations. And I start that team. I do it. I calculate your mean, right? I calculate the standard deviation and then the bounds of the first, second, and third. After the third, it becomes distorted. The information becomes grainy, which should tell you something when you're trading the immediate short-term time frames too. When you're observing a minute chart or where you're observing a 2-minute or 3-minute, those are really granular charts. They are showing an extensive amount of information, and information that can also alter your psychological biases. So if you are an emotional trader, or if you're a trader who is very reactive to price action, then stay away from your immediate short-term time frames. Try to dial that back to an hourly time frame. I personally like to trade a 4-hour. Guys, live, you've seen me scalp a weekly, so just to kind of put it out there like that, it's the reason why I scalp a weekly is because the weekly is giving me the clear upside target or downside target, whether we're short bias or long bias. Sometimes I can I'll scalp anything. I don't care what it is. Just whatever gives you the edge, find it. But know the type of trader you are. Find out how it is that your psychology works. As long as you can maintain a journal, as long as you can track yourself, then you will understand yourself in the future. You're forward testing yourself, right? But be disciplined. And you'll be able to do it. Guys, take it from me. I have only been trading in the financial markets 2.5 years. I don't know anything. I'm a brand new person. I'm a noob. I'm a rookie. But the way that I live through the financial markets, like my mentor does, is I didn't actually get to live through the dot-com bubble. I didn't get to live through any of that. 1988 correction, right? None of those. I did. It's an amazing, right? It's an amazing thing, really. And so the way that I live through that is actually through data and backtesting. So I spend a great deal of time backtesting criteria. And the way that people don't understand how I can chart and determine higher probability targets based on distribution curves on highly manipulated stocks like GTII is because the behavior in volatility includes algorithmic behavior and retail behavior. So if I'm pairing both of them, then I have higher probability targets. If I can have a good amount of iterations, then I have a great data set, especially if you're reaching above 60, 70, 80 iterations. Guys, when you reach 140 samples, that's really statistically habit, right? It's habit forming. So like that, team, it is like that. And I teach it, right? I teach this stuff. So let me just go ahead and kind of cut that there and continue here with the IWM, because it looks like small caps may still have a shot of a continuation to the upside here. Please observe. We're just going to come back to this, right? Outside bar, green bar here. We have a bullish engulfing paired with that, and it looks like it. I mean, yeah, the wick is sizable, right? But I do think that it still has a lot to give in return. I'm talking about to the upside here. So let's pair this here with the 4-hour time frame back in, just like we usually do, right? Take a look at momentum here. It is pivoted towards the upside, getting a very nice crossover on stochastic momentum. And I will say that I don't always look at the RSI for this, but if you're observing the RSI, that SMA 14 is crossing into the gravitational zone, right? Any junction that you have in an RSI here, right? Guys, this took me a long time to study. So that I've noticed here that a lot of indicators and a lot of zones are paired with something called a gravitational zone that I tend to use for higher probability pulls or pushes, right? So in this case, your RSI signal is sitting right within the bounds of the 2% of that center bound, right? The junction, right? So 50%, you count down 2%, 48%. That's your gravitation pull to the upside. Notice that your SMA 14 is penetrating that 50%, entering the opposing side's gravitation. That means that you have a higher probability of getting this RSI signal line to cross above and succeed the upside of that SMA 14, right? So then as this thing continues to the upside, likely we'll find some relevant resistance to validate the support of the SMA 14 before a continuation onto the upside. It's our job as discretionary traders in this particular aspect to determine what that resistance or what that pullback could be, right? So we just use the RSI for the direction bias, right? So in this case, I don't like that we're seeing these long wicks to the upside. That's telling me that the immediate short-term time frame may be showing us a little bit of a pullback here, right, guys? If you hear a little, if you hear a little voice in the background, that's just my little guy coming in, right? He's gonna hang out here with Daddy, and I'm gonna put him right next to me. He's gonna watch his show, and if he says hello, just don't mind him, right? So yeah, guys, this is giving me that we may see an immediate short-term pullback. So let's validate that 30-minute time frame here. Let's see complete contraction here. Let me bring that chair over here, buddy. Come over here. There you go. There you go, buddy. Sorry, guys. Right, I got to be a daddy too. And yeah, this is another little signal here, right? 30-minute time frame. It's giving you a little bit of a gravestone doji. You know, some candle analysis, right? Can never hurt. It definitely helps, right? So this is signaling here some weakness to the bull. So we could see a pullback. I am yet to pull up some moving averages. That's just because I tend to look at raw price action like that, right? So let's pull up our data sheet here as well and see what we have. Daily ATR bottom could be $200. And I was going to say that the $200 mark could be a zone to pull back into because we're still within a psychological bound here. This is 206.33. I have expressed that I don't usually get long or short. Let's just say, for example, this. I don't usually get long an asset when we're breaking the 205 mark. Why? Because I believe that the 204 to 206, 80 to 90, that's usually a bound that can be used psychologically against price action, right? Meaning that it'll probably end up failing price before it gets to 206.80 or 90, and then it'll come back down. And here is a prime example of that, right? You have a high of 206.76. It never actually reached the 80 or 90 mark. You hear me say this all the time, and you hear me execute it live with you all the time. All right, guys, so that is what I'm observing here. It looks like there is this little gravestone doji where we may see a slightly a shooting star here, right? We may see a pullback. What can prevent us from absolutely ripping to the downside here, the 200 mark, could be two reasons. Your SMA 50 located at 204.94 and the prior day's low, aka today's low, at 203.19. Those are two things that may prevent price action from continuing to lower lows, okay? So please be very careful when observing the markets here. So immediate short-term pullback here, then we could rise to the targets of where we presently are right now. So I'm talking about a full circle move here, right? We're going to do a wall-to-wall move, 203 bottom all the way up to the 206 top. Daily ATR range is suggesting that very type of price action. Okay, so heads up. Let's go ahead and now move on to guys. You know what? I know somebody asked me about that ticker. I'll get it. And we'll observe here because there is a present opportunity here within DJT that can push price action to an upside. I agree with CoinFox about this. And I thought that the overall retracement was going to be down to here to 49.96, admittedly. But it looks like we ended up dropping pretty close to your not 786 to not 618 Fibonacci retracement levels, which are typical, right, for a bounce. If we did reach the 326 to the 4054, which otherwise known as the golden pocket, right? That would be your not 618 to the not 382 Fibonacci retracements. That would be a really bullish area to break out of, but I will say that it will invalidate a lot of upside moves from here too. This daily structure here, creating converging price action, almost makes me feel that it's trying to build a shorter time frame a bear pennant. Right, so if that's the case, then we can just, come on down here to the, oh, dude, actually, hold on. What's the 8-hour show? Dude, this is an 8-hour dead cat bounce as well. We need to watch out with this, right? But again, with the stupid diagonal lines here, but I got to show you something interesting. This may be this was probably the bear trap here at 45.30, right? So you have a regression here from the price action, and it's very clearly using it, right? So this could have been the one fib at 48.06. That could have been the bottom. So, and they're, a little 8-hour hammer here. I don't consider that the best hammer in the world. But if I can give you something more tangible than that, then just observe this better, right? Not the diagonal line. Take this into account. I'm going to make it a little brighter for you so you can see, okay? Here's the volume profile. Hey, baby. Oh, yeah.
Hey, baby.
So take a look at this, right? You have declining volume with this downside here, right? So this is clearly showing you that there is some weakness, right? So if we have that declining volume even coming down from the macro top, that shows you that the bear strength is diminishing here, and there could be a shift. Then you look at your momentum. And then you look at your volatility. We're starting a contraction phase. We're starting to shift towards that upside. It is very likely that the short pressure or the sell pressure is diminishing here, and there could be a bounce to the upside. Now, if you are to speculate in a psychological fashion what those targets can be, traditionally speaking, a dead cat bounce is measured from that bottom to the very top of the dead cat, and then you put your target towards the bottom, right? But in this case, since we may get this invalidation of that formation, we could inverse that, just like you would a head and shoulders, right? If we can, this would tell you that we could reach a target here of about 62.27, and let's try to validate that, right? So your daily ATR is reaching a 59.24, so that's well within the bounds of what we're observing here, and still within the bounds that we were observing within the 1.618 of 56.98 to 58.28. So I will say that, yeah, I think we have a good shot of $57 to around $60. This could be in line here for DJT. Heads up with the price action. Just keep an eye on that one. There could be a nice opportunity here. And if we are to make a measured move way beyond this, then there could be a more serious bear trap in line, psychologically speaking, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at this one more thing here. And you're definitely seeing, right, this little head and shoulders, little herpy-derpy here, right? Just more silly formations. So let's go ahead and take a regression line here from that left-hand shoulder to the right-hand shoulder, and it looks like we are respecting that regression pretty nicely, right? So let's go ahead and take now the price objective, top of the formation to the neckline bottom, right? Just like this, and I will argue that you should probably consider using the center of the head instead of the side, right? So let's go ahead and adjust our targets to that just to be as accurate as we can be. Apply this to the top of the formation. And if this is way out of the question right now, I'm uncomfortable even talking about it, but this is suggesting a top side of 151.16. How in the world can we ever validate such a move like that? Hey, baby, what's going on? Are you sad? That guy's getting sad. Don't get sad with him. He's okay. So let's go ahead and take the left-hand shoulder into consideration here. Get rid of the stats window and take a look, right? So it looks like we have 141.34 at the 1.618. So that gives us a little bit of a range there. So let's keep that in mind here, right? So I wish we had more history here, because then I could really backtest this upside in this, and then really catch some targets. So if I were to put anything down here, team, 141.21 to 151.37 could be in the cards. Remember that this is tied into the presidential, to the elections, right? So they're very well could be a bounce to that upside. One other way to observe that potential top side, we could use another validator, right? Let's go ahead and take into consideration our chop box down here. Right, so this is that total width of price action, right? I know that this is not the best way of looking at it. I get that we had a consolidation here. I understand that we're facing these very long-standing this actual double bottom here, right? So we can take the total width of that formation to determine other targets as well, right? So this is another way. Take the total width here, apply it to the top side of that, to the top side of that formation, and look at this line up perfectly to your 3.618 golden mean at 98.88. And not only that, is that $100.94 is a psychological target too, right? Your $100 mark, a $10 mark, be careful, man. You don't want to be anywhere near that. Sell that top $96, right? Don't get greedy. Just get out of it, right? But again, team, I'm not comfortable with these targets just yet. I'm telling you this just so I can be the first to tell you that there is a potential to reach those targets. When it does reach it, and if it does reach it, then you'll remember ARCa bulls here, right, team? So for the immediate short-term time frame, please remember, I'm actually looking at a target of 57.01 to 58.28 for the closer time frame, for the more immediate short. Okay, so heads up with this ticker. Keep in mind that it is very sentiment bound, right? And we're invalidating a huge bearish play. Remember that this still could break down here, and the lower targets for this are not funny, right? That thing would really take you down here to around $22 if it realizes the bear play. In my opinion, that's not the case. I'm favoring the bulls here, and I'm favoring the bulls in several ways, okay? So let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart, and this is going to be starting some of the requests, right? So from the YouTube stream. So you guys requested ticker symbol HWH. So let's observe that, right? That's going to be HWH International here. Let's put the daily time frame on and see what's up. Okay, nice outside bar on that daily time frame, breaking the prior bar high, and it's actually double topping at this. What is this? A bi-weekly 3-week high? That's interesting. Now, if we are to continue to the upside, or if we're going to sell off, what is the word here, and how are we able to determine that? Well, let's just go ahead and bring the chart back to a more granular level, right? Let's see the 4-hour time frame, just like always, right? Nice little bullish engulfing here. It could show a potential invalidation of this shooting star here, right? That could show a continuation to the upside. Nice pressure, but not overall everything that we're looking for. I like that. What I will tell you is that I definitely like stochastic momentum here in the gravitational zone, right, within that 2% of the 80% of stochastics here, with a massive upside pivot, and we are still arguably expanding, right? Volatility is still moving on up. It looks like we have, we're sitting currently at about 96% expansion. That means that this is pretty much hitting the throttle or hitting the gas towards an upside bias. Now, if we move on to the 6-hour time frame, you are likely to find this all the way up to the daily time frame. So here's that upside pivot, gravitational zone, expansion happening, more of that throttle towards that upside, right? 8-hour time frame, same situation. Entering the bullish control zone, expanding. This is your moving average on the expansion phase, right? This is really nice. The volatility component just entered the 90 percentile, so this is definitely showing a continuation to the upside. And if I can tell you this, I could even back test here the break into the 90% paired with stochastic momentum's upside historically. So this condition here could be back tested. That, let's see, it looks like the signal fired off officially. Actually, that fired off today, the early pre here at 1 a.m. Pacific time. So that, just before Euro, that's interesting. That's interesting that this is right here. The signal fired off at $1.20 what's terrible is that it doesn't have that much history, right? So your read is going to be good, but there's like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 iterations, 7, 8, and 9. You only have 9 iterations here, right? It's not the end of the world, but that would be able to tell you how many times the asset respected the upside within those parameters or that criteria, right? In this particular criteria would be entering 90%, not the contraction phase, and definitely not the contraction to expansion. It's literally entering expansion. So it is in essence breaking a long-standing market structure here, right? So if we're to break this resistance here on top, I think that's gonna happen tomorrow. And if we are to experience an upside here in a very discretionary fashion without looking at any data and just looking at raw price action, then I can certainly see this resistance here in line, 219 to 243 top. And I bet you anything that that's probably just under the ATR. I mean, we're currently expanded here, so we may be able to see those top sides here on our data sheet. So 154 is actually let's use a 24-hour chart here, right? Because it looks like there was some price action happening in the after hours. So no, we're not even reading it there. Okay, let me try the 12-hour here. Let me see if we can at least get that. Maybe the 12-hour is telling you a 182 top bound. But if we take this as let's say, for example, this 122 down here, that was your mean, right? That is your 50% retrace. So if we're bouncing, it's right here, 112 actually. So if we use 112, that's okay too. It definitely is the 50%. So if we're using the 112 as your 50% or your mean in a mean reversion play, then that means that your upper bound of the second standard deviation multiplier would land right here at 208. And we're talking about a 219 to 243. So very close to our discretion using a 12-hour. But every different time frame will have a slightly different metric as well. So we got to watch out with those things too, okay? So for example here, your current 8-hour ATR top, because it read all that price action, post-market, is reading a 194 top. And I do think that is very, very likely here, seeing that we have a 186, 188 top. All right, guys, so heads up on this. I do expect a continuation to the upside here, and it could be set for multiple days. Immediate short-term time frame using the 5-minute, that could tell us here how we can find some opportunities. I will tell you here, team, that I don't know that we can retrace to that EMA 200 at 150. Sure, it's in line. Prior day's high could be at 165 from yesterday, right? And then if we use, let's say, for example, today's lows, which would be a prior day low, 118. Those are all in line, team. Let's look at the sheet again. Hold on, let me see if it could even do it. Yeah, I guess it could, right? You have a 101 bottom on your daily ATR low, but remember, expansion happened in the post market, so we're gonna have to react to this better in the intraday or pre-market, right? We can observe this a little later. All right, team. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I do think that this has a nice probability here. All right. So one good trade. Please go ahead and say something if you wish to share something with me, my brother. I noticed your mic came on, and I want you to be free to speak whenever you feel like you need to. And Coin, please also share that mic, brother. You guys can speak at any time you want. I don't care. Interrupt me.
The only thing I was looking at was, do you think the ES, I was wanting to see the downside because of this. I was also seeing a potential bear flag set up here.
Yeah, same here. That's what I was telling you on the daily time frame, because we were noticing that there could have been. Was it this ticker? That I think that no, it wasn't this ticker. Let me take a look at it.
I think you were on the 8-hour.
Yeah,
that's the 8-hour.
Let me pull drawings out of the way and completely look that. And you know what? It would support it. It would support it because we're shy of the 50% retrace on this. It's not quite invalidating it. So if we are setting up a bear flag, I don't think it would be a bear flag. This looks more like a rising wedge. And let me show you, right?
Yeah, you got it. You get it though. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Or even
bear
this
flag, bear channel, rising wedge, whatever.
Or even actually an ascending broadening wedge in a shorter time frame, like in an hourly, right? So this would be this would give you a low at the genesis of the formation, which would be 52.35. And if we observe your daily ATR low is 52.25, so it is confluent to that. There's confluence there. So your knot 786 fib 52.32 with a knot 618 at 52.22. So that knot 618 validates your daily ATR low, and then your ascending broadening wedge. Let me see what test we're on. We're at a. Let me get more granular here and see how that's playing out. All right, yeah. So we do have test 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, the next test. If we start breaking test number 4, okay, I don't think in the next hour we're going to reach that. So I think maybe by Euro Open this thing could test 52.86 3/4. And if it fakes out like that, like it creates a slightly if the target kind of just below that regression, that is a complete bull trap. And that would be the decline that we're waiting for. Test number 3 validates shorts, and the entrance is usually the test of that wave. And I think that, well, first of all, that wave could be 52.80 3/4, but I think that we could reach the 52.86. And if we do that, bro, that's I think that would be reason enough to get this thing to start declining here. Potential test of your 52.63 1/4, the same one that we were observing today. 52.60, and then you validate your resistances right up here, highly correlated, one spot 618, 52.80, the same play all over again, and then we would decline here. So quick little bounce from 52.44.5 validate your 52.57 to 52.60 again, and bottom side target to the ATR low of 52.25, or your one spot, or your not 618 and ATR low of 52.22.25.
Yeah, because when you go back to that 8 hour time frame, we've only had on the 8 hour, we've only had one leg down.
Oh, that's right. And usually, you know what? I guess this is kind of a larger time frame to really talk about this, but I'm not afraid to share it with you. I have back tested. Some people tend to consider these ladder attacks. You've heard of that term before? Mm-hmm. I've noticed that these ladder attacks.
Yeah, James is the king of ladder attacks.
Hi, baby. He's talking to me about the emojis that he's seeing on his screen. Yeah, let's see. Never mind. FET just broke the channel. I'm out. 84% gain off Grid Gorilla. Congratulations. That is an amazing play. And guys, so yeah, let's. I was just gonna mention this here, that if we are talking about ladder attacks, then we could decline these. You know, in formation theory, 2 tests of your support validate the formation, and then you could follow the golden rule of 3 to where it tests 3 tops, and your 4th is your breakout, 4th or 5th, 2 breakout tests. In the ladder attacks, it doesn't. I've noticed that it doesn't do that historically. I noticed that these tend to realize and tend to have a higher potency at the count of 6 to 9 retracements. Dude, if that's the case, then statistically speaking, we're getting ready for a macro retracement. And this would then give us a little bit of a head and shoulders formation, right? So if we can experience the upside here, I think that we could reach maybe 53 by tomorrow. Still that 53.15 or 53, whatever that is, it's still very much a shoulder. And if that's the case, then I didn't really want to talk about this just yet because I'm afraid. I'm afraid to. Let me just create a new chart here. But you know what? I think that everyone deserves to at least know my personal feelings on that, and you too, man. Like you have a heavy discretion, so and your ability to see price action is great. So let's speculate here using formation analysis. Okay, so let me go ahead and take into consideration here the head and shoulders price price objective, right? So that would be a 51.39.5, and if we were to pair that with a tangible target, that would be your March lows. So right about here could be that. And now if let's superimpose this, right? Because I still don't think that these would be enough of a retrace here, because this would only be one of the support bounces. We are also experiencing declining volume with price inclining in a macro perspective too. So there is a bearish divergence there too, volume versus price. So if we are gonna nail this as a 6 iteration count minimum, let's superimpose that, right? Let's take this iteration here and just like this, right? And we'll take those counts and apply them, right? So if we were to face, like, for example, this right here, this would be from the top of the price action here, ladder number 2, and then we can hold here and get ladder number 3, and that ladder number 3 is typically where people think the end of it is. 1, 2, 3 could actually still lead to further price action here. So if we are able to do that, then we would still count lower and lower targets. It's going to be your 4th, and this is going to be your 5th and 6th, and then let's geometrically back this, right? So if this is just a very, very discretionary and speculative and very fundamental, I would say rudimentary way of observing the downside here, because there's going to be more ebb and flow than this, obviously. I mean, look at this. It's ridiculous, right? So if we were to experience a bottom side of pretty much 5,000, which is already telling you that this is the bottom side of that range here, the lows of February, and the 5,000 mark, psychologically speaking, does that rhyme with retracement, with fib retracement? That could be something else too. Well, let's take a look at that. And it looks like it does. So you have literally the 50% retrace between your 3-spot 272. Actually, no, it's very confluent to the 3-spot 272 to the 3-spot 618 at 49.90 and a quarter. So this is clearly an area that we can reach. Now the timing behind this is the worst that you can do is try to time the market. So you're looking at the multiples in a data sheet here. Let's just pull that up, right? So stats are telling you that you have a $45 average true range, and you're currently sitting at a 52.27. So there's your division, right? So you're just gonna have to decline each day $50 from the $5,000 target, which could be equivalent to around 2 to 3 weeks. The 2 to 3 week would make sense, to tell you the truth. And let me pull this onto a monthly chart and see what that would even look like, right? So if we just go ahead and get rid of all those drawings here, we were talking about a 5,000 mark, right? I'm going to put it right about here. That is the highs of your January monthly iteration right there. And also that is your fair value gap. That is your price imbalance bottom support, 5,010 and 3/4, exactly on the money. Highly speculative. Again, I'm not saying that we're gonna do that, but I am saying that it would be mathematically possible and very viable over the span of a 2 to 3 week, I guess span.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna take that long, if not longer.
Yeah, but dude, if that's the case, then I mean, we can short a tiny position and just, close your eyes and hit the buy button. We would be unwise to do that, of course, but yeah, if this is macro analysis, right? So I do think that we are ready for a pullback like this, and the scary thing is that we can afford it. We can afford a 300-point pullback here and still mark a higher high or a higher low. Sorry. And still be able to continue to the upside, which is just outstanding. And I bet you anything.
James was talking about a 3-month move.
My little boy.
One good trade.
A 3-month move. Okay, so
he was saying.
You see this
is pretty much how this.
What is that, bro?
Works.
You see this, right?
Yeah, it's ugly.
that's man. That's your dark shadow, right? That this is your. Yeah, I mean, we have I know
days left in the month. Though.
Yeah, 26 days, 19 hours still left to go. Anything can happen here, right? We could technically still break above that high and still whatever. But if we did a 3-month retrace, I would be completely in line with that. I guess. I mean, dude, if we're gonna macro this, I hate this formation, dude. I don't like this formation because it's stupid. It's a cup and handle.
Oh, I got a potential 48.70.
Yeah,
in the quarter.
Man, don't even let me talk to you about a 6,000. Like, but I think that would be after a retrace, man. We really need to take a breather here at some point, man. It's not happening just yet. It's really annoying. I want to get short the market here soon because it's so everything is just. I mean, dude, let me pull up the volume. It's just getting really. I think it's way too frothy, and I feel it feels propped. I mean, look at this is what I mean. On the ES, the difference between this monthly volume bar and every other month makes no sense. That I don't.
You get that high volume at the top.
Yeah.
And the bottom.
Dude, what the hell is going on, right? So there's obvious signs of prop here, man, and that's what makes me feel that the price action isn't natural here. It's probably just prop because of the elections or whatever else, dude. But I think maybe by the end of this month or into May, we'll get that correction. And I think that we'll get the correction.
We have to look at the SPX to get a better
for
view
that.
on the volume because the contracts and stuff.
I don't think we can. I don't think we're going to get that from the ES either. In fact, using the SPX here would probably be the better option to backtest. And dude, regarding this, right? If we're using a quarterly chart, this is strangely familiar to a bull flag, So that also leads me to believe that there could be a backtest, right? We'll come back and test the prior highs of 48.37 or 48.40, right? And then bounce to the upside and continue. We have 2 months, 25 days to close this quarter. We just started it, so I don't see it as a. I think it's on the cards. I think it's in the cards to pull back, and if we can get deeper than that, then I think that would probably be even better. Honestly, we're in bull territory as long as we're above 3,500. I'm just gonna say it like that, guys. We're in bull territory as long as we're above 38. And I mean it. I really do mean it. It's just everything. Right. Everything here is just gonna be a higher low, and I think that this retracement here marked off an inflection area that is pretty much unbreakable.
I love Coin's evil laugh.
Dude, it's right.
Excellent.
And you know what, man? This speaks a lot too, right? Look at the deviation between volume and price, right? I feel like it's due for something, man. And let me see the volume bar. I'm sorry, the moving average on this. Let's see how. Oh, yeah, there we go. Look at that. Your bull volume is starting to print below the moving average. It's happening, man. It's sooner or later. I just can't tell when. I just don't know when. But tell me, buddy. Tell me. You know what? I'll even pull up one more thing.
I'm not seeing that. I'm just ready for it.
Yeah, right. Oh, dude, look at this. We just printed.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at this, dude. That is what I want to see. That is absolutely what I want to see. We need a man. Market breadth is going to change here. So take a look at this trough here, right? This is your local trough quarterly time frame. You have your deviation here from this is a regular drive of bearish divergence, and we're talking about momentum now versus price. And now if you take a look at this, you're validating several months of bearish divergence, right? Take a look at that. This is your semi-annual this is your multi-year bearish divergence here. We're consistently creating lower highs on the momentum profile and creating higher highs on price action. This is completely telling us that we are potentially going to see a heavy retracement. And not only that, is your RSI is sitting in the gravitational zone. This is likely to get pulled down here at some point. Of course, we still have the bound of 2 months and 25 days. And your bounce would be at that SMA 14 because it's in the gravitational area here. That would be a massive retracement. If we're looking at this in comparison to if we're comparing this to the 3-month iteration, that's a lot of downside. And why would we do that? Well, simply because of this. We broke out from that SMA 14, got to get that pullback, validate that support and continue, which is making me feel that we may even get that 48.30, right? I think 400-point retracement here is in the cards. And
that's what I got.
Dude, I'm only talking really okay, good. And I'm really talking to you. I'm not even mentioning to you the let me see. Yeah, dude, we're talking multi-year bearish divergence here. I've only marked off 2 iterations, and this one is also one, right? This is a lower high. You have the higher high on price, and it validated. It just closed it. But I don't think that this is going to. I don't think that this is going to be I don't think it's going to be a recession. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to be a crash. I just think it's going to be a corrective period, and it's just going to be to take a breather here and then continue. I don't think the markets are going to capitulate during elections. What are you?
Unless there is no.
Yeah, or how about Trump gets Trump gets the presidency, then they would dump it? Like, I mean, maybe. Options. Take care, buddy. I will get in touch with you.
That I don't know, but I'm looking for this 48.30 to 48, potentially even 47.80. That's. I mean, I think it's going to be a washout candle.
Huh? Oh, are you hungry? Are you hungry?
Chicken nuggets and grilled cheese.
I was thinking the same thing.
Grilled cheese and chicken nuggets.
Grilled cheese and chicken nuggets, man. But yeah, dude, I think there's a lot of reason here to bring the market down for a bit. I just don't think that we're at least in the immediate short term. I'm talking about weekly time frame or daily time frame. I still think there's ebb and flow, and there's ebb and flow to really pocket from these from the futures contracts trades. You know, so. Yeah. I think that eventually, yeah, man, I can see this potentially happening into May, right? That's the sell in May saying, man. It's right in there again. And you know what? I think it would make sense to sell off in May and then correct all the way to maybe September and October are historically red months. So November recovery
is the end of the fiscal year for the market.
Right. Oh, that's going to be the rebalancing. Yeah. There's going to be release of positions.
I'm looking at is Netflix and Meta. Why does Meta look like it's trying to go to 520s? It's like it's starting to take the lead, dude, and so is Netflix.
I'm gonna take you back, man. I remember. I expressed this to you at 490. I know you're gonna say that. It's hard to believe. It's just this stupid pennant is in the way, man. And yes, my middle bound is 518.79. And then the top.
Look at the monthly.
Let me go. Let me see that. Let me see the monthly. Right. So. Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh, man. Come on, bro. We're invalidating. We have already invalidated this shooting star by far, man. It's gone.
Like, come on.
What the hell?
Is Meta really going to 525?
Guys, it's taking forever. Oh, man.
And look at Netflix.
Let me see.
Unreal.
And Netflix is a freaking. Oh, dude. Is this going for 700 again?
Sure looks like it.
This has a really wide ATR, right? It's almost $14. Breaking the prior month high, dude. We're about to do that. You have a high of 634.39. We're literally under 4 points or 4 points away from that. This is likely gonna. I mean, yeah, we'll resist that monthly top. We could even pull back to around $600 and then just short-term distribution and reaccumulate the crap out of that into 626. Man, that's testing. It's gonna be a full circle move tomorrow, but I think by the end of next week we could be observing the $700 mark, or maybe even sooner, maybe even a 3-day effort. It got a catalyst today. Let's see.
Did it?
Stock sharply falls for Trump Media Group in just a week. Netflix and Amazon poised for growth as TV and markets seen climbing to $44 billion by 2028. That was 12 hours ago. Yeah, I guess it has positive sentiment.
Yeah, and then you look at the yearly; it's already took out the yearly top.
Way beyond, and the bi-yearly, man. We're talking about higher than the biannual here, and yeah, man, this is that a bull flag?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how Netflix is garbage, but
dude,
they want it.
Hey, man, ever since they started purchasing the scripts from Universal Pictures, everyone kind of jumped on that wagon to create the originals, quote, right? Netflix originals. Then you have your Paramount originals, Hulu originals, whatever else. That was a leading trend. I think it created by Netflix, and hats off to them for that. But I will say, I don't know if they're one of those woke platforms, right? So
yeah, they are. But look at this. Look at today. The market was choppy and down, and look at this thing. It slapped on 20 points.
Damn. Okay. And that's your, oh man, we're getting that
tomorrow 615, 617, 618 pullback and potentially rip right through again.
Yep. But thinking full circle here, right? And get that top side. It looks like, oh yeah, heads up. Oh, dude, good eye, man. That's a daily gap at 615.56. Very likely to bounce off of that 615.56. If it does fill the gap, I guess it could come down to either wick base of 611.32 or 610.40, which is absolutely in the cards here.
Yeah,
and
this thing's gonna 620 and rip.
Damn. Okay, so let's. I think we're. Yeah, man. I think we're good for a play on this.
This is the only thing that's got me real hesitant about my short bias on the market because it's just taking so long to turn. It could just chop and go and just slowly fade while these other ones get these last pumps out of their system. It's very possible.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? You're talking about a 272.67 billion market cap here. If what else would follow? Amazon would follow. And I think it started its run. Did you notice that? Today, look at this. Freaking Frothland.
And Google went insane after hours too.
Dude, if Amazon takes it with Netflix, that's enough, man. This is 1.9 trillion. Yeah, right. I'm not going to ignore. I know I was talking about this. I'm sorry, Danielle was talking about this rising wedge, but I didn't see it like that. I personally saw this as the break out of a pennant. I know that's probably going to be. Yeah, there we go. This was what I was talking about with the top side target of 183.40. Oh, reindeer, cool. Oh yeah, baby. So yeah, you get this
RNDR.
Say again.
RNDR token?
RNDR token? Or your render token?
Is that what you're talking about?
No. My little guy, he was saying reindeer right next to me. And
I'm like, are you talking about RNDR? I'm pulling up the chart.
My little guy usually tends to he tends to look at me when he wants to say some words and he wants me to repeat them after him. Right, because that's how I teach him how to speak, so he often grabs my arm and I have to say, I have to repeat after him. You hungry? Oh, did you hear that? He said, yes. All right, we're going to have to get you some food here soon, son. All right, man. So, yeah, I do think that the short bias is probably temporarily on hold, at least until we can get all of the chips to agree with an upper bound, and having Netflix and Meta and Amazon in this froth world here. I think we still have maybe another week or two of upside. Potentially week 3, 4, 5, we get consolidation top and ready or prep ourselves for a sell-off. Damn it, dude! I thought we were there already. I really thought we were there, but we were just converging. And damn it, man! Again, another way.
I know. I got the downside too, but I told you that what's messing me up is these names. And if you look at the ES, it put a higher high in on the weekly. The SPX and the SPY haven't.
You mentioned
really
that.
Weirding me out. Really weirding me out, man.
All right, well that was a good point, man. Here's a little bit of hopium for you. You got a weekly outside red bar with a bearish engulfing, and I get it, right? You do have this. I mean, it's still a shadow too, though. So, but I mean, if we're gonna knock out a red wick, I guess it would be a break of market structure at 52.35 on the ES. Which then validates your 52.25 thesis. So as long as we can close below the prior bar open, 52.90, then we would be good, except that I'm talking about a 53.15 tomorrow. So we still got one day in 8. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Okay, but what...
Well, 2 standard deviation VWAP is on the daily is at 52.93, and I think that's the target you were talking about first.
Oh, nice. It's confluent to that. Cool. We're on Wednesday here. That means, your weekly close coming in on Friday market close. We have still an opportunity to close below that. Dude, the easier money is going to be made to the downside here. It's just not happening just yet, right? If we can just get the damn bias to face one direction, then we can practice as such. Look at the weekly volume on the ES. I mean, dude, what more do you want? It's prepping. It's prepping. I just hated that it's such a slow grind up there. Like, bro, let it go already. Sorry to bring out the inner youth in me, right?
No, they got to get positioned. Everybody going to start getting positioned this week.
Yeah, man. So I don't know if just real quick here, right? I don't know if Kit Kittredge is still in the chat, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at his ticker real quick. He asked me to take a look at Canopy Growth Corporation, and that is I forgot what he mentioned here, but I think it's fairly a simple read here. Right, we're getting a little bit of a breakout from your weekly highs, and I do think that this has a measured move as well. If we're going to just take some silly little TA right here, right? Some silly little lines. If it breaks my line, bro, it's going to this target, bro. End of story, right? So 1437 could be its top side here, and if we're able to maybe manage that with some tangible targets, then I think good top side 1372 to 1437. Split in the middle, right? That could be your top side right at 1408 or $14, which is natural. So this is a bull flag leading to that top side. Hey, Kit, good to see you here, buddy. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for your patience, right? We just, there's a lot to talk about here, and CoinFox is absolutely, CoinFox, Cryptic Trader, Off-Grid Gorilla. These guys are some of the most talented traders, not to mention One Good Trade, right? These guys are absolutely powerful traders, and some that have been in the market for a very, very long time, and I respect. Right, so we gotta learn to observe the higher macro perspective and then apply that to our smaller categories, right? So as long as we can maintain that.
When we're looking at CGC, we got to look at the higher categories.
Absolutely, man. So in this particular case, Kit Kittredge right here, I think he has some risk on this, right? So we're gonna see what the potentials are for continuation. The only thing I'm really not liking here is that there is a deviation from volume and price action. We have inclining price, declining volume here, but in the immediate short-term time frame, we are inclining, right? So that's good. Let's pull up the volume moving average. I want to see where that is in comparison, right? We got those daily volume bars, green bars above, right? And we're breaking that weekly high like we said. This is likely to continue to the upside, but how much, right? Let's look at that 4-hour time frame and observe volatility here. It looks like the 5 oh yeah, nice. The 5-minute time frame here breaking above and using the EMA 20 alongside the EMA 9 and the SMA 50 as a clear guide towards that upside. Does not mean that we can't pull back. In fact, I would bet that we're going to pull back here somewhere along the I would say about 1117 to around 1093. Pulling up the stats here. Where are we in correlation to? No way. This thing has $1.19 in average true range. $10 asset. What the heck? Wow. That is very volatile. Damn. To tell you the truth, I think that this is likely continuing here. RSI pivoted towards the upside. Look at your 4-hour expansion phase, re-entering critical expansion within the 90 percentile, huge upside pivot in the bullish control zone, and we have that SMA 14 portion sitting in the gravitational zone for a continuation. 4-hour time frame is poised for a continuation. Let's see the hourly time frame within this, right? Hourly time frame feels corrective as well. Look at this thing re-pivoting its way to the upside. Let's look historically. What are the, you know what, I'm going to put a trend line here at where we presently are. Income can retrace. Yeah, we still have some upside to go on this, right? Not many, if any, iterations retracing from right where we are now. That gives you a higher probability of continuation to the upside, which is great. Okay, so hourly time frame, expansion phase happening, right? Entering into that critical 90% of volatility. That's great, right? That's what we want to see here. Guys, if you don't understand these indicators, that's because I coded them myself. This is the way I perceive the markets, right? I literally make my own tools. The data sheet here is coded by me. Everything that I use as my tools, I rarely use anyone else's tools, right? This is my RSI. You can see them all here. Arc RSI, right? This is ABT for ARCa Bulls trading. This is it's Vol H because it's volatility histogram, right? It's a heat map.
We have that one.
I'm almost finished with it, and I will give it to you within literally tonight or tomorrow.
I checked. I'm like, I don't see that.
Dude, it's such a cool indicator.
Keep that monthly. Keep that CGC monthly, bro.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Joe H, my brother, good to see you here. Very good to see you, my brother. Let's check out the monthly time frame here for CGC, right? Wow, very cool perspective here. Very obvious at this point, breaking that prior month high. Looks like we can get a continuation here. Targets. Yeah, man, I'm looking at a $19 target here, right? And I will say that we're on a mean reversion here, bottom mean to the top side of $14, right? So we are currently expanding into that top side of $14, right? So this is very curious. And if we are to break that mean revert, right, to $14, that means that this asset can still continue even further. I am not going to talk to you about a $36 or a $58 target just yet, but it is mathematically possible, right? Your current ATR on a monthly top is $24. That is just ridiculous, right? But yeah, I'm excited here because you're getting a clean break of the prior month high. That prior bar high was critical.
Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at that big green monthly with that big tail.
Yeah.
Look where this month opened above that.
Oh, it did open above that body. Clean open.
Above all the
Dude, it cleaned. Yeah, it was above the open, the close, and it opened freaking. Let me see. Oh and man.
Your monthly anchored VWAP was 720. It came all the way down, tapped 722, and ripped.
Hey, there's something going on with this ticker. There could be a continuation to the. Yeah, man. Kit
options. Are you in here? Check that chain, baby.
You know what, dude? Kit Kittredge is saying $40 trek, my opinion, and I will say that Kit Kittredge is one of the more intelligent viewers that I have within the YouTube community. He's incredibly observant and very much data driven. So I do believe that he has a good reason to look at this ticker. And the only reason why I think we're kind of slowing down here is that we're at a clear resistance level here, 1185 to 1007 to around 1163. Clear resistance here, right? But I think that as soon as we start breaking above that, then we can start seeing our 1450 targets, validation of our $10 or $11 target, then the continuation into the $18 to $19 zone. And I completely support this, especially. Let me see the weekly. That is exactly
weekly fair value gap, 1260 to 1357. I think that's your very next stop.
Yeah, and honestly, I was thinking that it could reach all the way up to 14, but maybe that's a little too a little overly bullish for the immediate short term. Maybe it takes a little longer to get into that 1436, but I think that you are right. 1390 ish, right? So there's a gap there on the weekly time frame. Let me kind of zoom in on that, and it would be right here, right? 1254. Let's jot that down. We got to keep that in line here. So right in here, tiny little gap, but we got to keep an eye on it, right? So 1256 to 1270 is that gap, and very likely for price action to resist from there, right? Temporarily, it's not a critical thing. I just think that we have to look forward to that. And your upper two standard deviation multiplier on a weekly time frame is 1333. So I do think that 1333 gets the resistance of 1270. That's very clean. In fact, I will support that completely. Kit, good call on this one, dude. I think that even the immediate short-term time frame is presenting incredible opportunities. If we're looking at bottom side supports, definitely look at this side here at 1020 at 1021. to about 960. There's a little bit of a gap there, right? We can always use the top bounds of that gap for a potential bounce. And it's also the support bottoms of your May 2023 lows. So that's that could do it, man. That could definitely do it. Get a quick little pullback here.
930.
Yep, right there.
Tomorrow, 930 pullback maybe.
Yep, it looks like it would pull back to the daily ATR top, right? So this 1089 meets back to 932, 930. Get the rip. And
what I'm noticing is the pivots. It respects the bodies more than the wicks.
Oh, so it's opening closing basis.
Like this 960, potentially 925 on a dip.
If we want to get a little deeper, then there could be an 835. But dude, look at your ATR. I'm sorry, let me pull the daily ATR. Right, 693 is your daily ATR low, and I think that the 7. This is your immediate short term or your weekly inflection is 726. So breaking that 726 puts you onto that daily gap here. That would be 686 to about 590s, right at the $6 mark.
This thing's got a 15 to 20% ATR every day lately.
Yeah, I was saying that this is for a $10 asset, having $1.20 in daily ATR is completely wide. You know that this thing's gonna rip. I feel like it recently. You know what? Let's test it. Hey, baby.
Bidenomics.
I mean, I'm not gonna oppose that. In fact, look at this, dude. This is your ATR history, right? This thing was sitting at about 23 cents March, the beginning of March, and it has expanded all the way up to $1.19 at the freaking beginning of April. This is ridiculous. That is awesome. So now Kittredge is saying yes. Peak pullbacks, buys on the trough slope, and let's see. But G players collecting and re-entering. Yeah, completely right. They're trading the ebb and flow here. I do believe that there's always going to be that. There's always going to be that accumulation distribution, and that zigzag as you can identify it as, right. I think this has a higher probability of continuation, and it feels like the continuation is days long.
This is a good play, guys.
This is a really good play. Look at your volatility expanding in the 6-hour upside pivot onto the bullish control zone. 8-hour time frame, massive upside pivot, expanding again into critical expansion. 12-hour time frame, upside pivot in the gravitational zone for a pull into overbought, with re-expansion happening back into critical. Daily time frame, same situation here, man. It looks like it's getting a slight pullback here, but I imagine that was the bull flag pullback. This is the delay, right? Because remember, all of these indicators are delayed.
Options chain, the volatility is very high, and so is the interest all across the board.
And what about the expiries on options? Are we looking at weeklies and bi-weeklies, or is this skipping weeks?
April 5th. 12th, 19th, 26th, May 3rd.
Ooh,
weeklies.
There we go.
Weeklies.
Nice.
And there's a lot of volume. Open interest is good all across the board on both of them.
Guys,
and look at all of them.
So people are definitely swinging options on this.
Look at
that ATR.
You got Tilray, Sundial, Mary Jane, MJ, CGC, Crown,
ACB,
they're all going.
ACB as well.
The whole weed sector.
That's
the last one to run.
Okay.
That's the last one to run, guys.
I played it back in November.
Guys, this is a very powerful play. And here's the final say on what we're observing here. Check out the DMI. We're looking at directional movement index here in complete bull control. DI plus, your ADX, DI plus on top, right? Here it is, your green bar, right? That's your bulls leading. And your ADX, my master students in here, do you remember? Go ahead and chat. Let me know in the chat what you think the area of strength is for trend using your average directional index. Please let me know in the chat right away if you remember that metric. As long as the ADX is sitting at what level do we have strong trend? Ian giving me 25. Senor Pennington giving me above 25. That is absolutely correct, team. We are sitting at a 50% ADX on the freaking chart right now. This is 100% powerful. This is absolute bull strength, and this is likely to continue to the upside here. Watch your butts on this one here, because this thing may actually get a continuation. I was going to show you a ticker similar to this, being the ticker symbol ACB, showing similar traits, although I will say, and similar valuations too, but I will say that CGC is giving us a different vibe, and I do think that I'm going to try and perform a back test on this because it has a great amount of history on the daily time frame. And in fact, actually, I may take it a little more granular here. I think, yeah, you know what?
SNDL looks even better.
Open interest on the options is solid all the way through April 19th.
You're hungry?
Sundial looks even better. SNDL
Sundial, man. That one is actually one of those 2021 meme stocks. Very surprised that is actually continuing the way that it is.
They're growers.
Yeah. And I actually held a position. I don't even, you know what? I got to check my fidelity. It may still have, holy goodness. Okay. All right.
He said, I'm still bag holding. I'm an investor.
Dude, I don't even remember the login for that.
I'm a cannabis investor.
I'm a cannabis investor, guys. Yeah, team, I think your ticker symbol CGC leading the way here. ACB, Sundial, all of them looking incredibly powerful. So heads up here, definitely in play. And we're breaking prior month highs. This is 100% continuing. And please just beware. We have all the signals here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put the stats together. Hopefully tonight, and by tomorrow morning, we'll observe the standard deviations and the mean on this. Right? Well, I want to see how much of an upside thrust we can get based on the firing of the signal, which I could set. You know, the condition is really whatever I want it to be. So, all right, yeah, I'm going to use the signal of re-entering volatility at the 90% right in here. And the signal would have fired at $8.29 of CGC. I'm gonna put together a whole back test on this, and then we'll see what's up. Hound, my buddy.
If anybody doesn't know, you can trade MJ, Mary Jane, MJ. That's a weed ETF if you want.
There we go. And you know what? Let's go ahead and run a correlation coefficient against the MJ right now and see how correlated these assets are. So that's going to be ticker symbol M as in Mary and J as in Jane. Right? So here we go. Let's take a look at this, right? Absolutely powerful correlation. Let's look at the daily time frame. You're in the 90%. That's 100% correlated. Let's look at the weekly time frame. And there we go. It's now correlating even harder, entering the 60 percentile here. Daily time frame, 100%. We can definitely use the ETF MJ to determine early moves regarding CGC. So heads up. And
just an FYI,
yep.
MJ options not nearly as strong, not as much interest in the volatility. Rating isn't even as high.
Nice. So it feels like it's a freaking ETF. You know, it's like the SPY. It doesn't move quite as crazy as the SPX.
Yeah, CGC looks really good across the board all the way into April 19th.
Ooh, CGC looking like it's the play.
Swings.
Oh, GG, thank you.
For sure.
Wow. Sorry, Coin, I'm sorry. What did you say, brother? I interrupted everyone.
No, I was just looking to see if there's a 3X ETF.
Oh, if there's a 3X lever?
I like how that guy thinks. I like that guy.
So, MJXL.
MJ.
You want me to look for MJXL?
Hey man, look at it. It's gonna be those are gonna be your pro shares. Right 3X bull.
New leveraged cannabis ETF. Oh yeah, they do. I don't know if it's still around.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. Kit Kittredge is saying, yeah, these are partnering, restructuring while waiting news on expanding. CGC waiting to enter the U.S. market. So what's the is the ETF levered at all?
It's not popping up for me, Coin. I don't see MJXL.
This was in 2021. This article, so maybe it already died. So weed is the last one to run, boys.
Have you checked MJXS or MJS?
XL?
Maybe? Or XL, yeah.
You would think.
That would be it would be a 3X lever bear, an inverse.
No.
Not even that, huh? Okay. Dude, I mean, remember the last time that cannabis stocks were in play? That was what, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, something like that, maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And they were really volatile. So I think those were it's probably coming back in now. Wow.
My buddy Jason gave
we
me CGC last November, and we traded it up for 100% runner.
Oh, man. Mr. Squeeze said, bongs and seeds, LOL, 3X bull. You're ridiculous, man. No.
Yeah, we can just play the regular options on it coin and get baked before, and it'll seem like it's levered.
I'm just going to buy the shares.
You know what? Yeah, I think it'd be the safer way because it's not that pricey.
We got to check the filings, make sure they're not set for any dilution here, because these companies are broke as a joke.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, you got to watch your back like that, man. And
well, you always got to watch your back like that on turds.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
We're Nevada based.
We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry. Like, how are you broke, man? These guys really not running it right.
It's not. It's not federally legal.
Right, unless you're
you don't see CGC on the shelves in the stores, you know.
No, it's actually not in the U.S. yet.
Yeah.
So it's pending to come into the U.S. and yeah, I agree. Unless your grandfather, I think if I recall correctly, doing the DD behind the marijuana stocks, there was I think it was grandfathered licenses prior to 2015 or 2005, I believe. And those licenses are very few. Not a lot of people have those. So you get those growers they get shut down a lot. You know yeah, man. There's a lot of weird intricacies within that entire realm. It's a little gray, right? But
you got 8% short float.
Say again.
CGC's at 8% almost on the short, 7.5% short float.
It's getting hard to borrow. So reaching anything above 7, maybe even 10%, that's a lot. Yeah, man. I think we have an interesting situation here, man. I think we should really devote some time to CGC. Kit Kittredge, I'm gonna try to put together an entire back test on this, maybe 12 hours, so I can really concentrate the probabilities. So heads up on that video, okay, my brother. But I will express a deep thanks to you for sharing this with the team, right? Ticker symbol CGC. Really appreciate you, brother. And I will put my part into it so that we could all benefit from this. And I will express I will put down the play on a video. I'll make it as a thread of analysis, not just in the ARCa trading team. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and share with you one more time here the link so you could join us. Guys, we trade together. You know, we support each other. When somebody's on a long position or somebody's on a short position, we immediately look at each other and try to support as much as we can. It's a real community. And no, Kid, I completely appreciate you. Thank you so much for
yeah, thanks, dude.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Really nice of you. But guys, I will I have to say that I wasn't planning on closing up right now. It's my son. He's getting a little hungry, and my wife is not home just yet. And I got to get this guy some food, right? So I do apologize.
You've been here 4 hours.
Yeah, it's just, I just didn't get to look at a couple other tickers, but we did have a lot of information that we needed to go over. And it's just, the trading team, right? It's just the community. I want to look out for them too. So I'm going to get my guys some food, right? And then we'll touch bases again in the morning. Joe H., I love you so much, buddy. Thanks for coming on by, man. And
peace out, guys.
I will look at the gas ticker again because it looks like it came short of the target, and that made me feel a little angry when I observed the markets afterward. I'm revising the play, so we'll take a look at gas again, and we'll see what's up. Are you still exposed, or do you still are you risk on that ticker?
No, I got out at that second circle because
Good night,
it
Kit.
popped up and it broke through the 1 minute, and you didn't freaking come on and tell me if my target was right or not. So I pulled and took my profits. And it's still marching down towards my 252 target.
Okay, I'll take a look at it.
I pulled out at 86% profit on it.
Oh, nice.
I'd be up over 100 right now, easy.
Wow. All right, you guys. So we have a few things to look at. So we'll touch bases in the morning. Please remember, YouTube, reach out to me regarding the continuation strategies mentorship or the join the ARCa Bulls trading team and come on by and trade alongside some very talented traders. I really appreciate everybody for coming on by. But I'm going to go ahead and close shop here and just say my goodbyes, right, team? Thank you so much for coming on by, team. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Ever. Never, 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 never. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well a very, very good rest of your night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team. Oh, yeah.